Hi there, my name's Michael and welcome to Tabletop-Infiltrator. In today's video we're going to be looking at the latest chapter approved update, what impact it has on my current army list and any adjustments that I need to make. I will be solely focusing on the Space Marine section as that's the faction I collect. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's changed. And here we have it, chapter approved 2021 Mark II Minotaurum Field Manual. So let's get going here. Starting with one of the biggest and one I and pretty much everyone else knew was coming was the Chief Apothecary upgrade. This has gone up from 15 points to 35. This I think is very reasonable considering all the buffs and bonuses you get from him. Being able to resurrect a model on full wounds and healing up to 2 models with a 6+ feel no plane as well. He can easily make up his points value back over a course of a game, and he's still exceptionally good, but now he might not be that automatic include he has been so far. So a Primaris Apothecary with the upgrade now is 115 points from the previous 95. Everything else here is on these pages has stayed the same. Next on to Vanguard Veterans. So Vanguard Veterans, they've had a slight points increase, not the models themselves, but some of their war gear. So jump packs have gone up 1 point from 2 to 3, and storm shields have gone up 1 point as well from 4 to 5 points. This is a combination a lot of people would take, maybe with lightning claws as well. They are relatively cheap compared to their damage output potential, so a slight rebalance here. Next on to fast attack, we've got attack bikes. So they've gone up from 45 points now to 50, and you can equip them with a multi-melter, so that work out at 60 points total. With the improved melter weapon rules, these models were really quite deadly, especially with their mobility, giving you a lot of tactical flexibility. Next, we'll have a look at, I think the next change, yep, here in Scepters. So in Scepters, if you're taking the Plasma Exterminator, each model works out at 50 points. Now I knew this was coming as the unit is incredibly deadly and can pretty much lay waste to anything it sets its sights on. But if just equipped with the Assault Bolters, which are still very good with a bucket load of shots, they are 40 points each, yeah, because they're armed with a new upgrade to the Plasma Exterminators. Again, a reasonable rebalance. You might not be seeing the Plasma loadout nearly as much as you used to. And then moving on to what next has changed, the Storm Speeder variants. Yes, all the variants have now changed. So the Hail Strike is now 135 points, down from 150. The Hammer Strike is now 155 points, down from 170, and the Thunder Strike is now 160, down from 175. So this will definitely help these models out as they are a little bit fragile and will make them just that little bit more points efficient. Next, moving on to heavy support, we've got the Gladiator variants. So again, all 3 variants have had a change and receiving a points drop. So the Lancer is now 180 points, that's down from 200. The Reaper is now 210, down from 230. And the Valiant is 230, down from 250. Again, you didn't see these units on board that often. I know they've only recently come out, but this is just this makes them a bit more attractive with those points drops. Moving on to the iconic Land Raider, and all three variants as well dropped down from 285 points to 265. Land Raiders, in my mind, symbolise 40k, but you just never see them that often. Their role is a bit whiffy. There's just other more point efficient ways of doing the same thing. I don't think you'll see them a lot now, even with a points drop. They still can't transport Primaris Marines and are a lot of points just for a gun platform. Yeah, that's everything on there. And then moving on, next the Repulsor. That has gone down from 315 points to 295. And the Executioner is now 335 points, down from 355. So again, not a massive decrease, but enough to make them a bit more attractive, a bit more of an attractive choice. And then finally, Flyers. Let's have a look here. I think, yep, it's the Storm Raven gunship that's had the drop here. So it's gone down. It was 310 points. It's now 290. I love the look of this model. It's so cool, but it's rarely seen as there are simply better choices out there. And you find usually it gets blown out of the sky by your opponent before it's had a chance to do anything. So again, not a huge point drop, but enough to make it a bit more viable than it was previously. And that's it. Yeah, that's it for Space Marines. Not a huge number of changes, but how do these impact? We'll have a look now and see how these impact my current army list. I've only got 2 units that have been affected by the points changes, and that's the Primaris Apothecary and my Inceptors. I did have a few spare points left over from my original list, so with the point saving on the Inceptors, this means that I'm not affected by the increase on the Chief Apothecary upgrade. I wanted this time around to make full use of my available points, so I've also taken one of the comms arrays off of my Infiltrator squad, as I plan to combat squad one of them anyway. And the Librarian, I've removed his Stormbolter. All this will allow me to upgrade him to a Chief Librarian. He'll know an additional power, which is Psychic Fortress, giving all chapter units within 6 inches of him a 5-up invuln, and he'll be able to attempt to deny an additional psychic power in my opponent's psychic phase. So the new structure of the army will be a single battalion detachment like it was last time, starting at 12 CP down to 10 CP, as I've spent 2 on 2 additional warlord traits. So that hasn't changed, and my chapter traits are still Whirlwind of Rage and Hungry for Battle, so no change there. My HQ choices are still the Captain and Phobos armor, upgraded to a Chapter Master, and then I've given him a Warlord trait, Lord of Deceit, so he works out 135 points. My next HQ choice is the Librarian in Terminator armor, now upgraded to a Chief Librarian for the 25 points. I've also given him a Warlord trait, which is Imperium Sword, and I've given him a Relic Armor Indomitus. And then the 3 psychic powers he knows are Veil of Time and Might of Heroes previously, and then the Psychic Fortress. My troop choices are 2 5-man tactical squads, each with a heavy bolter in each squad. That works out 100 points each. 2 5-man assault intercessors squads, bare bones, so just 95 points per squad. And then 2 10-man infiltrator squads, one with a comms array and one without. So the one with the comms array works out at 245 points per squad for the unit, and then the one without the comms array is 240 points. Then for elites, I've got the Primaris Apothecary, who is my warlord, and I've made him the Chief Apothecary. So the Chief Apothecary is now 35 points, and his warlord trait is Selfless Healer. So in total, he works out at 115 points. My second elite unit is a Terminator Assault Squad. That's a 5-man squad armed with Thunder Hammers and Storm Shields, and they work out at 215 points. Moving on to fast attack, I've got a 5-man Inceptor squad armed with the Assault Bolters, and they are now 200 points for that squad of 5. And then lastly, for heavy support, I've got a 10-man Hellblaster squad equipped with a heavy plasma incinerator, but I'm still playing either between having the heavy plasma incinerator or the assault variant. They're the same points value, so it doesn't matter, but I'll just have to test them out in games and see which one works out the best. So in total, it works out at 2,000 points on the nose. So there we have it, Chapter Approved 2021, Mark II, and my complete army update. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Is there anything you would add or take away? I'd be really interested in hearing your thoughts on my army structure. If you've enjoyed the video, consider giving me a thumbs up, and if you haven't, a thumbs down. And if you want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button down there in the corner and switch on notifications so you never miss a video. And I'll hopefully see you next time.